Welcome back to the Pioneers Sideline. As I promised, going to bring these two gentlemen back with me and talk a little baseball, softball, keep it rolling. We'll keep it on the baseball side with the smaller ball and take a look at the road ahead for the Pioneers. A couple games on slate for them, taking on, or as conference play will actually start, you see, taking on West Virginia Tech on Tuesday, 16-12 team. And then Houghton comes to visit as well, 3-14, as you see, their first year in conference, their first year as a baseball team here. And Chris, we'll look at the West Virginia Tech. Maybe we'll skip over that one, but take a look at Houghton. First year in the AMC, and hasn't gone as well as they've planned out.
Yeah, it definitely really has not gone any way Houghton wants it to. 3-14, not a real good start to the year for this Houghton team. Pioneers, they get 2 doubleheaders against, and that looks like 4 straight easy wins for them. This is a type of game that could be a trap for the Pioneers, actually, because with an opponent like this, you might overlook them. But with it being a conference opponent, I expect the Pioneers to take care of business and come away with 4 Ws on the weekend.
Now, when you get into the weaker conference like Point Park, is this when that early tough schedule becomes so important for the Pioneers just to be ready for what can come up ahead in their schedule?
Oh, most definitely, Aaron. The Pioneers went out and challenged themselves early in the schedule this season, and I believe that was a great idea. With the AMC not being the strongest conference for baseball this year with Houghton and Fisher, they definitely did the right choice in challenging themselves, because after the unaffiliated tournament, which I expect them to win and be able to go to the national tournament, that's when they're going to see lots of these more challenging teams. And by having played a strong top 25 teams at the beginning of the season, they're not going to be in awe of the stage. They'll be able to take that challenge to be able to possibly win these games.
Houghton, a AMC worst team ERA of 8.01. Point Park earned run average 8th nationally, actually, at 2.85. And Chris, the other thing, Point Park, they're in the midst of a home streak here, a home stand in 12 games, it looks like. Right now they'll be going into game 8 and 10 in these 2 series. But how big is it, home field advantage for the Pioneers, that they've really gotten comfortable at their new park up in Greentree?
Yeah, home field advantage, always great, because when you have success at home, and the Pioneers are doing that right now, they've won their last few games at home, they've won their last 10 overall, and when they're winning games at home, they feel comfortable, they know the scenery, they know how to take advantage of their home field, and they're doing that, and that's working really well right now. And against this Houghton team, they should be able to take advantage of it to its full capacity.
Thank you very much, Chris, for joining us, and good stuff as always. We'll see you over the courthouse, but I'm going to talk a little softball as well. They got 8 games on tap here for them in the coming week. Matt Desmond going to join us as well as we take a look at the road ahead for the softball team now. That's kind of on a bit of a hot streak. They've won 3 of their last 4 now. Taking on Ursuline on Tuesday, then Clarion Wednesday, both of those teams 6-6. Then Houghton comes to visit as well on Friday and Saturday, a team that's winless so far in their first year playing in the AMC, little softball action for them. And Matt Desmond going to join us here. Matt, taking a look, tough schedule for Point Park, but this is where they can make up for the 6-game losing streak they had earlier on in the season.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it all depends on the consistency of the Pioneers. If they're consistent, they have the ability to go 8-0 here. But, I mean, you really have to look at the consistency of this pitching staff. You have Ashley Kuhn there, who only allows 23 hits on the season. That's 24th in the NAI in the nation. That's very good for that pitching staff. But you got to go to the other pitchers as well. You saw Kate Reese. She's getting some action in there. She has some scoreless innings going into this season, but it has to be on a consistent basis, and that really what it leads to if they want to be successful in these games.
Let's stick with that pitching staff, as things could get a little hairy for them with the 8 games coming up this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Friday, Saturday. They might be without their top pitcher in Kelsey Robertson, who's out with a shoulder injury. They were saying it's week to week, so we'll see how that goes. But Matt, Robertson really been the anchor on this pitching staff early on, and this could be big for the Pioneers if she's out for an extended period of time.
Oh, exactly. It's going to be very harmful for the Point Park Pioneers. You have the young guns in Audrey Eisentraut. You have Ashley Kuhn, Kate Reese. Those are 3 pitchers that are going to have to step up for the Pioneers. You look at their road ahead, and you have Ursuline, who's 6-6, and you have Clarion 6-6, and then a winless Houghton squad. You expect to sweep Houghton there. That's going to be pretty easy wins, but you want to do good against those non-conference teams in Ursuline and Clarion. So, I mean, what I really see is you have to perform well on the road, and I think the Pioneers, what they can do is their offense has to come to life here, because their pitching's going to need all the help they can.
And you mentioned the batting, or taking a look at Houghton being a bad team. They're batting 143 as a team, opponents 356, and an ERA of 5.75 as a team. Houghton really in dire straits there as they're 0-12 in their first year. But Matt, 8 games on slate for Point Park, and mentioned this could be a critical week here in the schedules. They need to try and get close there with Carlo really starting to make a gap for themselves as a front runner in this conference. But how do you see Point Park faring in this tough week for them?
Yeah, well, they have 8 games on the road ahead, and I see them going 6-2. They should be able to win against Houghton very easily, and then I think they're going to split each of those non-conference games. You know, with not having a confident pitching rotation out there, it's going to take some time to get into that game. Even in the 5th inning, it really starts to be a ball game for this team. So it's really going to be a inning-by-inning basis in those non-conference games, and then it's going to be a very easy riding for the Pioneers when they take on Houghton.
That's good to see. Thank you very much, Matt, for joining us and filling in for a little softball talk. We will have some actual broadcasts. You can listen live on WPPJ here Friday afternoon at 1 o'clock. Point Park baseball taking on Houghton. We'll have those games live for you. You can listen in also then on Saturday at 1 o'clock as well. Some softball, little softball broadcast for you. Tune in at 6:70 a.m. WPPJ. Those broadcasts live this weekend. So for these two gentlemen, we're going to get over and talk a little MLB baseball this time. Talk some Pittsburgh Pirates. See how they'll fare over in the Courthouse Tavern Case of the Week coming up right next.